One of these days, I'm gonna be getting paid for this because I told y'all, if LSU cannot stop the run, that Alabama will pull this game off. I'm gonna insert a clip right now. Who am I gonna give this game to? I'm gonna give it to Alabama. You wanna know why I'm gonna give it to Alabama? For this exact reason. A&M has shown to me LSU weakness. LSU weakness, I think, is a running quarterback. We seen what happened when they played Texas A&M. I told you. I ain't gotta lie. I told y'all Alabama will win this game because LSU weakness is a running quarterback. I simply told y'all. So I told y'all Alabama will win this game because of the running quarterback, and LSU cannot stop it. I told you LSU has an awesome defensive line. I also told you Alabama has an awesome quarterback who can evade the defensive line rush. And he did just that. The quarterback powers, the quarterback runs. I mean, he did just that. He didn't have to do much more. And the result speaks for itself. They go out and they beat an LSU team, man. An LSU team with a great defensive line. Okay. They go out and they beat them. What they beat them by? 42-13. 42-13, yo. It ain't really much to talk about because everything was really one-dimensional. Okay, let's just talk. Let's talk the stats because at the end of the day, I told you guys if you watched my last video, whoever controlled the line of scrimmage, okay, whoever controls the line of scrimmage is going to win this ball game, and that's what happened. Alabama controlled the line of scrimmage. Milroe didn't get sacked none because why? He could get away from their defensive front. Didn't get sacked. Now he only passed the ball 18 times, but he did not get sacked. He didn't get sacked. They couldn't make him uncomfortable. 99.3 QBR rating, 12 for 18, 109 yards passed, no TDs, no interceptions. None. All right. But what did he do on the ground? 12 carries, 185 yards. 4 TDs on the ground. 4 by himself. He had 4 TDs on the ground. Jam Miller, 13 for 38. Richard Young, 6 for 27, 1 TD. Justice Hayes, 8 carries, 23 yards, 1 TD. It spoke for itself. Something Alabama has not been doing here a lot lately. They did it a lot. Okay, I mean I take that back. They've been running Milroe, so let me take that back. But they controlled the line of scrimmage. That's what you have to do in this league, especially in the SEC, really in any game, any conference. Control the line of scrimmage, and Milroe did just that. Yeah, the running backs didn't get going really. They really didn't. But Milroe, it was his night because why? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. They can't stop a running quarterback. And why they can't stop a running quarterback, I don't know. But you know who showed me they couldn't stop a running quarterback? Texas A&M. You put somebody back there who's going to try to stand in the pocket and pass, they got you because the defensive line is just that good. But you put somebody back there who can read option, read that in, read that linebacker, and can get outside the pocket and make plays, LSU struggles with that, okay? Texas A&M people be like, man, Texas A&M got lucky. They put the backup in. LSU didn't prepare for it. I'm going to give it a pass, but even though I feel like that, hey, you should be able to adjust on the fly. But cool, you couldn't adjust on the fly. They got you. But you had 2 weeks to prepare for Alabama team and Jalen Milroe, and you still couldn't stop it. The man had 12 carries for 185 yards and 4 touchdowns. 72 was his longest rush. 72, 4 touchdowns. What do you guys say about that, LSU? It's not really much you can say. LSU weakness is they cannot stop a running quarterback. They just can't do it. The defensive line couldn't do anything with it. The linebackers couldn't do anything with it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They stuffed it a few times. It's gonna happen. You know it's coming, so you're gonna get lucky here and there. But other than that, LSU could not stop the run game of this quarterback. It just couldn't. You know, the receivers, Jam Miller, he had 5 for 50. Ryan Williams only had 2 receptions for 29 yards. We all know how outstanding Ryan Williams is. The rest of the guys had 1 or 2 catches. I only had 109 yards, receiving and only 12 completed passes. The rest was runs. They had 48 runs for 311 yards. 311 yards. Off 48 run plays. That is all right. Now let's jump to the defensive side. Defensive side for Alabama, offensive side of LSU's. Gary Nussmeier, horrible game. Horrible game. I didn't think this defensive line could get to the quarterback, but they did. 2 sacks, right? 2 sacks for Alabama, 5 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections. Not too many people has got to Nussmeier, but Alabama's one team that got to Nussmeier. Okay, Gary Nussmeier was 27-42, horrible. 239 yards passing, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, QBR rating of 56.5. Not gonna get it. That is not gonna get it. They got away from the run early because why? Like I said, look, the score 42-13. Because Cade Durham was actually getting yardage. Every time he touched the ball, he was averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Why they get away from it? I don't know. Maybe because why? They started getting blew out. But Durham only had 8 carries for 63 yards. He averaged 7.9 yards a carry. 7.9 yards a carry. I would have kept trying to run that ball. 45 yards was the longest. No touchdowns. Nussmeier did have 1 touchdown. Xavier Thomas had 2 carries, 18 yards. He averaged 9 yards a carry. 12 was his longest. Josh Williams, 6 carries, 9 yards. Nussmeier, 6 for 8. Caleb Jackson, 2 for 6. So they had a total of 104 rushing yards off 24 carries. Only ran the ball 24 times. Passing. All right, Lacey. Like I say, Lacey's going to get his because he's a good receiver. You got Taylor. You got Williams. They have good receivers over there at LSU. Lacey, 5 for 79, 1 TD. Taylor, the tight end, 450. The Williams, 6 of 38. Anderson, 3 of 27. Daniels, 3 of 26. He distributed the ball out fine, but it didn't amount to anything because they couldn't put no points on the board. Could not put no points on the board. And Nussmeier was uncomfortable the whole night. You have to make him uncomfortable. You can't just let him be able to sit there in the pocket and make plays or he will pick you apart. Nussmeier also had a fumble. Lost that fumble. Weeks, that linebacker Weeks, he had 15 total tackles, 7 solo. Okay. He's gonna be everywhere you want him to be, but it's just Milroe, man. Being able to do that read option, it's hard to stop it. And that's what happened. I called it. I knew Alabama could run the ball with the quarterback against this LSU team because A&M showed it. Man, they struggle with the running quarterback. They struggle with that power, that quarterback read option. They struggle with it. They only threw the ball. Look at it. Completed 12 passes. Only threw it 18 times. Man, a lot of people from here on out they're gonna realize that they got a quarterback that can run the ball. They're gonna pick on LSU with that there. Don't get me wrong. LSU is out the playoffs now. They can't. No way they can make the playoffs. Alabama still has a shot. Alabama 7-2. LSU 6-3. So you gotta wait and see, man. But Alabama played a heck of a game. Had a game plan going in, and they stuck with it. And hey, they 7-2, and they still got a shot at the playoffs. Got a shot at the conference championship.